Hey everybody! I guess we are. Houston. Houston Eagles landed. Okay, bad start. Had to. Thanks for joining me here. It's a Cup of Ray pregame for the Rays versus the Orioles again tonight. Of course, the Orioles win that first game on Thursday night. The Rays come back and win last night's game to even up the series at 1-1 with a great 3-0. Zach Eflin throwing heat. Let me go ahead and get this couple of things lined up here. I just wanted to go live because I'll tell you on the other side. I'll tell you on this side, Coach. The world famous Ferg. So again, thanks to the staff, Jake, Coach, everyone down here at the world famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill down here on Central Avenue, just below 16th Street in the Edge District of St. Petersburg. Thanks for the coach has got a ticket for me for tonight's game. Boom! I knew it. I was like, come on, this is Tampa Bay. This is St. Petersburg. This is old school. You come over and you do the radio show. I had a chance to get on a Sports Connection, Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection from the Pee Wee's Preps to the Pros with Ben Botham and Mike Rickard. And then I got a ticket to the game, bringing a little pregame show in here. I love it. I want to know what y'all think about the Rays, the Bucks. Are we still talking Baker Kyle? What are we talking about this week? Everyone's a Cup of Ray from down here at Ferg's. See you on the other side. Oh, sorry, stand by. It's not what I wanted to do. Excuse me. Am I live? Let's see here. Oh, okay, so we're back. I wanted to tell you this story about how these had a big group of people coming down here, and it was a big old fight, and they were crazy, a bunch of and y'all saw it last night. Saw y'all count my lots of Oriole fans here, and so you're thinking, okay, so Baltimore, they made the wild card last year. They're a better team. They're ahead of schedule now with the way they're playing in 2023. But you go back and you're like, you thought about it. Well, the Rays coming into the season, there wasn't many questions with this Rays team and acquiring a Zach Eflin and getting ready to play the 2023 season. But, let me get these comments. That's when I screwed my computer up last time. So I'll be kind and bring up comments. Boom. Here we go. Oh, man. Paul Stewart, Mr. Story himself, was there with Randy Grimes last fall. Say hi to the owner for me, Paul. Paul, not only that, Randy Grimes was on the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection show talking to Mike Rickard today. I was running around down here trying to find a place where I wanted to do a little pregame show, bring a little bit of that St. Petersburg, that Tampa Bay Rays vibe. But Randy Grimes, again, talking with Mike Rickard and, of course, Coach, and lives just across the bridge here in Sarasota. Grimes does, and Mike Rickard was saying he's like, these are favorite beach bunny couple or beach couple because, Grimes, Randy, earn that time he's getting to spend on the beach these days. Fantastic, Paul. How prescient that you actually commented about Randy Grimes because he likes to come down here. I've had a chance to interview him from down here at the world famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. Thanks for commenting, y'all. I want to make sure I should not stop this. Hello, sir, Ben. Really, I need some more comments from y'all if you want me to keep it. I'm just, again, Coach Mark Ferguson. I'll tell this story real quick. Hey, Ben. Other than Fast and Furious there, Ben, how's my sound? Can you at least give me a thumbs up either in here or on the DM? But either way, I appreciate it. But I'm getting done doing the St. Pete Sports Connection with Mike Ricker, Ben Botham, and Coach Mark Ferguson, of course, the owner of the world famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. Sound is good. Boom. Then we're going to run with this, Ben. I want to talk with you. Ben, if you wanted to come in, I always offer late and no one ever takes me up on it. Any questions, bring it to me. Because it's not just, I'm down here at first before a Rays game, but it's all about Tampa Bay. Not just Tampa. See what I did there? Okay. Thank you, Ben. Got a good spot, too. I'm on that because, this West Central Avenue, east and west, and that sun just, then you got the condo right here, and I'm up against this awning, one of the beautiful party areas that Coach has built out here at Ferg's. And I'm like, shade, I got a breeze. When the show was going to crap, I didn't show this, but I can now because I think I've recovered nicely. Got the show back on the rails a little bit, maybe. Got a nice highlight. Getting a little hair of the dog after last night's game. Shout out to my cousins Richie, Georgie, Teddy. We sound like that. And I think about it, we sound like the new version of the hit fella, Goodfellas. But yeah, all New Yorkers from all New York family. Although Ted, I think you are but that's why we love you because you're a cracker. But you're not. You're so much more than a cracker. But went to the game last night and like, what are we going to get with this Rays team? Comment after the All-Star break. Randy made a good point this week that Kevin Cash sat both Wander and Randy for a game that he's never done, short of anything, short of the INJURY thing. And then talking about a team that, because that's what the Rays were on as a high. Randy Rosarina came in from the World Baseball Classic. The Rays started swinging the sticks immediately. And then it was like, and we always said it all along, there's got marathon, not a sprint. There's going to be a lull. And I even said it's probably July, because it is usually July. The teams that are usually really hot, and now it's the teams that go into July and then spring toward the end of August that start finding their grip again, start doing the things that got them to be one of the best team in baseball in the first place. And then some teams get caught by other ones in the division. That's why they play the games. I mean, it's one of the most exciting things at all, right? Oh, Andrew. Andrew, I got the link, baby. I'm gonna share it right here because it's only 2:11. But remind me, everybody, I don't have a power. Oh, I have 1 hour of power left. 1 hour of power. Andrew Faubert, howdy, Ray. Wait, is that supposed to be a howdy, Ray? Okay, I'll take it. Good to see you, Andrew, brother. But so last night going into the game, you got Zach Eflin on the bump. Okay, who's going to be tonight? We're walking over my cousins. We left Ferg's, went underneath First Avenue South, came out the other side. And I said, all right, guys, before we get inside, because, the beers are going to be flying. It was 2-for-1 Budweiser's there on Friday night, and it's throwback Devil Race night, which, man, they look so great in the uniforms. But, all right, who's your, what did I ask? Who's your MVP? Well, my prediction, okay, out of nowhere, I just went, and it's, okay, for the Rays to have a starter like Sugar Shane McClanahan is on the bump tonight, so watch out, you Orioles. A lot of Orioles fans in the house. But truth of the matter is, when Zach Eflin's on the bump, you want to see him get Zach Eflin just be the pitcher that he is. And I'm walking with my cousins, and I just when Zach's got to go 7 innings, which not a shock, but analytics and the way the Rays usually play, and someone's 6th inning, Blaze now, World Series. I'm kidding, but the fact of the matter is, going over, and I also said Brandon Lau. Brandon Lau is the MVP. Now, Brandon did have a prescient hit, a single, drove a runner from first to third, I think. I want to say it was an RBI, but that sounds too sweet. But again, it was 2-for-1 Buds. It was a long night. So any questions, please bring. We're not just talking sports. Oh, Peter, brother, is Tom Brady coming back again?
No, Tom Brady's not coming back again, but we got a lot of people watching right now. There you go. So,
did I make somebody mad? Was I?
Not at all, buddy. Happy Saturday,
bro.
How you doing?
Did you hear the news?
What's the news?
I'm finishing up there on the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection with Mike Rickard and Ben Botham, and the coach walks in. Of course, the owner, Coach Mark Ferg, and I said, Coach, I just want. They said you're the guy to see for the extra tickets because we know Coach Ferguson, Peter, for years, decades, biggest Ray supporter down here, biggest sports bar down here, and he said, I happen to have one. I was like, touching. All right. So how's it look out here?
And it looks great, man. Let me just take a look there. There we go. Getting ready for, of course, the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Baltimore Orioles.
Yes.
Place. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. How do we start off the sports web? How do the sports web out of Tampa Ray? Bring the passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. And I tell you what, let's go out to these comments here really quick. Did you mute yourself here? What'd you do to yourself?
Oh no, I'm the wind. I want to make sure because my mic always overrides that beautiful Peter Blake voice. So I want to make sure. Just remind me to mute it when you got something to say, brother.
All right, sounds good. Let me go ahead and read these comments. Paul Stewart, of course, of the BuckPower.com podcast network. We'll see you tomorrow, Paul. Was there with Randy Grimes last fall. Say hi to the owner for me. Absolutely. Ben says, hello, sir. Ben, again, sound is good. Sound is good. A little bit windy out there. We got to work on that for you. I've got to get out to Ferg because I kind of miss Ferg. I haven't been out there in a while.
Brother, best of the Bay voted again. I mean, that's just an annual rite of passage for Ferg's, the world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. But for some of y'all out there that may not know exactly where it is, of course, it's out here on Central Avenue, just below 16th Street in the Edge District of St. Petersburg.
There you go. And let's go out to Paula here. Hey, Randy. I think she's saying, hey, Ray, what's going on? Welcome to a Couple Ray pregame edition, of course, with Tampa Bay Rays versus the Baltimore Orioles. We may talk some Bucks here, but predominantly want to talk about the Rays. And you go back to that performance last night with Zach Eflin. It's exactly what the Tampa Bay Rays needed. And I get it. You look at the statistics at the end of the day, 9 for 34 when they score 3 runs or less. But when you have a guy like Eflin who is dealing, and he was dealing last night, only giving up 2 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts, that is stopper material, right?
Well, not only that, Peter, you could feel it. There was not a pall in the stadium. It wasn't like I swear, going down there, I was like, am I going to feel like, what's next? What's next? Well, are we going to find out? Here's what, yesterday I had a chance to talk with Jay Retcher and Night Train Lane there on the end of the J&Z show. And I posed to Night Train, I said, because he had said, T-Kraz had made a statement about the leadership on his team. And I said to Night Train, I said, who is that leader going to be? Is it, Randy from the WBC or Franco with the flipping, or it's always been our pitching staff, Night Train pointed out, and Ronnie Lane. But he also said, what if the leadership for this team for the playoffs is not currently yet on this team? And I was like, wow, a veteran, boom.
Well, yeah, no, you're exactly right about that. As I'm putting the number up right now, if you want to get on the phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. It's the Sports Web with a cup of Ray here with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about as we.
Hey, Sugar Shane McClanahan's on the bump today. And you know what? I didn't finish my thought earlier. I apologize. I went into a sales pitch. Oh, right, surprise. But it didn't feel like the Rays in a stadium. It didn't feel like they were on pins and needles last night. You were wondering who was going to be that guy. Siri, was it going to be Yandy, or Yandy Stahl? But who was going to be that player that gets that big first hit, or maybe that home run? Of course, Paredes gets the home run, but the team didn't feel downtrodden. Now, tonight against the Orioles here in just about an hour across the street, we just need to see that team consistency as we start to see the leadership on this team come through.
No, you're absolutely right about that. You're correct. And it comes back to, Eflin, is he enough of a leader? Somebody mentioned that because I put that out there. By the way, appreciate the shout out there. My former CSB brother, Mr. Jay Retcher, doing great things over there at 95.3. And a radio legend, my former instructor of CSB, Mr. Night Train Lane himself, Ronnie Night Train Lane. So good to
so smooth.
Always. Absolutely. Great stuff here. And we're live on I Love St. Pete, getting you ready for the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Baltimore Orioles. And you're exactly right. I mean, you go back to 2008, right? You had a leadership there. Cliff Floyd, I feel like, was a great leader of that team. 2020, you mentioned G-Man Choi. Can you think of any other leaders on that team at the time?
No, but I'll tell you what, and I'm not Mr. 700 Club, the coaching differences between with Kevin Cash or Joe Madden, whereas I feel we always say, "Oh, this team's always been driven by analytics." So there's a little robot beneath the dugout, a Mr. Kazoo, that makes the call, right? But no, the thing of the matter is, you still have your managers with develop. But Joe Madden was more hands-on, so he was almost more of a leader from that. And I'm not saying Kevin's not a leader. He's a man that leads by example.
No, you're exactly right. And maybe this team is missing leadership. I definitely think they could be missing another bat. They could be missing, of course, another pitcher. You know who I want. We've talked about this before ad nauseum. I'll continue to put it out there. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Of course, the Angels are going to want at least 3 to 4, maybe 5 prospects. But at the end of the day, and we've debated this, the future is now, in my opinion. And if you have to make a big trade, which the Rays have not done, and don't give me the Nelson Cruz stuff, because Nelson Cruz wasn't in his prime. We're talking about Shohei Ohtani. Lots of response this week.
I have a rebuttal for this, by the way.
Okay. And I feel like, again, they should make that trade. Let's go out to the phone lines as we have a special edition of the Sports Web live on a Couple Ray, live from Ferg's, getting you ready for Rays versus Orioles. What's your name? Where you calling from? You're on the Sports Web live on a Couple Ray.
This is Eric.
What's going on, Eric? How you doing? Welcome.
Doing good. Man, we don't need to make a bunch of trade like that. It's not worth it.
Why do you say that for, Eric?
It's too much.
Well, I mean, again, and it's just why I go back with fans. Yeah, you're okay. It's a rental.
Hey, can I give you guys, Eric, brother? Good to talk to you, by the way. Can I give you guys my quick rebuttal on this?
Sure, go for it.
Eric Neander, of course, the Rays president, player personnel, said yesterday, we're not. That's not on it's not in our DNA to sell the future like that. But I was on with the representative from the Rays on again, the St. Pete Sports Connection earlier, and I said, look, I think a lot of teams are going to go, look, Shohei Ohtani, maybe never ever again. Babe Ruth, like guys throwing, hitting, crazy butts and seats. But I think at the end of the day, that there's no team out there going to give away 72 draft picks in a case of Bud Light. Now, if that market moves back toward the other side, and the Ray and Ohtani's like, still, I'll go Tampa Bay, drop a championship. Let's see what that's all about, because they're winning. They're coming back up again. That's the way that deal works. But no, not to trade the future, not to trade the farm.
It's going to be a bidding war, though, you guys. It's going to be a bidding war for that guy.
Well, but here's the difference, though. The Rays actually have a farm system that it's better than anybody out there. And for me, there is no guarantee. And I'll go back to Desmond Jennings. I continue to go back to Desmond Jennings. You don't trade him. You have an opportunity to make a trade for Cliff Lee or somebody out there that's going to help you possibly win a World Series. You never know, because he held on to it. And I get it. That's what the Rays do. But we're in the 25th year. Love the Rays, but I would like to see them win a World Series. To your point, there is no guarantee that these prospects, even though right now their top prospects, are going to be superstars. That's my thing. You know what you get with Shohei Ohtani. You're getting a premier player. Could you imagine trading for him, Eric?
By the way, guys, this just breaking news on the streets of St. Petersburg here. Coach Mark Ferguson is giving Ray a free ticket to tonight's Rays-Orioles game. More news at 11.
I'll tell you right now, I need to get down there on a Saturday and talk to Mr. Mark Ferguson. Please don't dance on camera. We'll have to get him on. Eric, go ahead and finish up, my friend.
Yeah, man. Okay. What's the chances you think? What's the chance you think the Rays will make a trade like that? What you think is the odds?
Listen, I didn't think I wasn't one of those people that thought Tom Brady was going to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so I never rule anything out. Honestly, if you look at their history, they never done it. If they can strike the right deal, are they going to be able to pay him? Most likely not. It's a rental at the end of the day. But if it gets you a World Series, what are we talking about? 2-3 months of World Series baseball, I feel like it's worth it.
That's what that all comes back to, Peter, is everybody says, yeah, if it means that World Series championship trophy sitting over, on the mantle there for Stu Sternberg up in New York, North New York, where I'm kidding, he's down here killing it. But then there's always the other side of that coin that says, but what if you trade the entire farm system and I know, right? I don't know.
Yeah. And Eric, man, we appreciate it. As always, let me go ahead and go out some of these comments. Andrew Colbert says, howdy, Ray. Absolutely. Paula says, hey, Randy. Again, we read that. Hey, Ray, says Christopher Cole. The heat is on. Paula again, Ray. The number's out there. That's the second number in case you can't get through. 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. The other number, 727-255-0391. Again, 727-255-0391. Ben says, hopefully for the Rays fans, this team can make a splash before the trade deadline. They could use another starting pitcher.
Bryce Harper?
Maybe another at bat.
Bryce Harper's out there, Pete. Now, I just said this earlier about maybe not the leadership, and you're not buying Bryce because it's Bryce from 5 years or 2 injuries ago that's going to come in here, but it's Bryce Harper that could come in here. And could that be something you add to this team as this pitching gets healthy, as we start to get everything coming back? Maybe you go after that one, that signed veteran arm at the end, but I mean, I don't even know what the splits are on Bryce Harper. Is he a free agent next year? He's not. Because the Rays could give a little bit up and get him, and then he's going to be. If he's going to be here, then we end up trading him away to another team that can afford him. But that's something. That's the kind of when you talk about a team buying in. Could be. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Would you?
No, I mean, again, I think this team definitely needs to make a deal. Now, is it going to be for a big name? I don't necessarily know if it's going to be. That's not the Rays' way, but I keep on going back to this. For me, maybe the Rays need to change it up just a little bit and do something just a little different. What do you guys think out there, Rays fans? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. Christopher Cole says, PP Jay Sutton. Let's see. Eric, Rays better be all in, not like Dud a few years ago. And Eric goes, Rays stay put. A couple years ago, went to the World Series without trade.
Peter, I got bad news for you, by the way.
What's up?
You're going to hate me. So I went live. I had my studio. I'm like doing my normal, I'm a clown on a wire thing. And I went over to flip to comments. And have you ever done this, Peter, here in StreamYard? All of a sudden, everything on your screen just goes up to a bazillion size, and you can't even maneuver around the screen? Or is it just me? Anyway, forget it. But there's about like 4 or 5 minutes of dead air in there where I had to get out of the show and get back in there. So I just want to be honest up front, bro. I love you.
Bro, I got you right here. We're producing, and we're trying to read these comments at the same time. We got plenty of people that are watching right now.
Bring it.
Yep, absolutely. So open phone lines. So let's talk about this, though. Do you think they stand pat? Do you think they can stand pat here? Of course, they lost Mejia for about 3 to 6 weeks, so we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bentoncourt, who's definitely slowed down a little bit. He's definitely his bat is not what it was at the first of the year. How concerned are you with this rate? I get it. They're going through the ebbs and flows, but Baltimore made a trade for a pitcher. Do you think the Rays stand pat, or do you think they make a trade, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, when it goes to the catcher position, because of the Rays and because of our pitching strongest style first, of course, that the quarterback behind, because that's what Bethencourt and Mejia are. They're quarterback of the entire field. They're quarterback behind the plate. But I don't notice a fall off when Bethencourt's in there. So from the standpoint of allowing these dogs, like you have Sugar Shane McClanahan there on the bump today versus these Orioles, allowing these Rays dogs to get off, I'm like, okay. But man, when I said Mejia went down, the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, please, let's not let this thing snowball, and let's get that guy healthy back on here, because we definitely need that 1-2 punch between the two of them. You can't put too much stress on just one catcher and expect them to ride it through, especially these dog days of summer.
You're absolutely right about that. And I think, again, there's a lot of concern because this team has struggled at the plate, although, talking to our guy, our friend, Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire of 1252 Chicago Sports, he kind of said it best. This team is not going to be able to do that. They're averaging, 5 runs a game. They're not going to be able to do that all year long. Eventually, they're going to slow down. Their pitching has been good. It was great last night. But you're not going to continue to win games 3-0. You're going to have to score, in my opinion, at least 5 to 6 runs in order to win. And that certainly seems like it's the sweet spot for this Rays team, because going back to the numbers, 9-34 when they score 3 runs or less. Of course, that was an anomaly last night when your pitcher is basically lights out. And you're muted. I don't know why you're muted. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Yeah, for a minute there. There you go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Go ahead. Yes.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you. I got you.
I'm sorry, bro. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. I had a girl on my shoulders. We were doing go back to Thursday night when you got Randy Arozarena up to the plate for the 5th time, and he's got 3 strikeouts already. We got runners on first and runners at first and second with 1 out? Maybe it was first, but I think it was first and second with 1 out. And
first and second with 1 out. You got
1 out.
Randy Arozarena at the plate. He strikes out, and that's the night where he has 4 strikeouts with 1 double play. So he was open.
And look,
tonight.
Hey, I don't want Dog to stop swinging the stick, because that's what Randy Arozarena does, and he's been that leader on this team and continues to be. But I'm just asking everyone out there, Rays fans, because I asked the same of Jay Retcher yesterday, because Jay pointed out he's your number 2 hitter on the team. He's your dog. He's your home run guy. But at the point, am I the only person in Tampa Bay that for 1 second was like, what if Randy could lay one down, play small ball, get that 1-run tie, and then go into extras or win the game because we got them shaken up? That would have been nice.
Yeah, it would absolutely been nice.
All right. That was my take. I got nothing.
No, absolutely. And then you got Brandon Lowe, of course, or Brandon Lau, excuse me, who rolls into a double play. What do you make of him? He's hit 200 all year long. I get it. He's been hurt for the majority of the year. Do you see him coming out of it? Does he have to come at it?
Yeah.
For this team to have a chance to really compete for a World Series, in your opinion?
Well, it really is. It's going to be that one hit or that one game. I thought last night was going to be the game. I tell my cousins we're on our way down there again. Georgie, Michael, Ted, Georgie, Richie, Michael. Michael, you didn't come. Why not? But I'm like, tonight you realize this team is ready, and I didn't feel like they were pressing, but they were trying, and that's a difference. Like pressing is like they didn't seem nervous about it, but that's going to be the narrative, right? Oh, they can't swing the sticks. But it's going to take a hit, a double, a base hit, a home run. I thought it was going to be last night. Now, I'll be honest with you, tonight, especially with Sugar Shane McClanahan on the bump, I'll be over there across the street at Tropicana Field tonight. Thanks, Coach Mark Ferguson. I have a feeling tonight's night we can get that offense rolling. It's only going to take 1 or 2 hits, and this team's going to remember their DNA from earlier in the season, and that is we can park them.
Well, absolutely. And what you're watching right now is a special edition of Cup of Ray on the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Best of the Base, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. Open phone lines. If you want to talk about your Tampa Bay Rays, you can, because we're live on I Love St. Pete. Also, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528.
Peter, can I flip the script a little?
Sure, go for it.
Can we talk Buccaneers for a minute?
I mean, we can. I mean,
okay.
We always talk Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, baby. So, what this offensive line we have in 2023, and no, I'm not saying Cody Mauch is the next whatever, but we've wanted Tristan Wirfs to move over to left tackle since he was jumping out of the pool. And I'm no offense to Donovan Smith, who probably now, but since he's a Chief, becomes an All-Pro. I don't care. We wish that cat good. He did good for us. But this offensive line, as we get a good Decky and we get our guys back and we go with the depth and a Walton out of Seminole High, shout out Warhawks. I don't see this Buccaneers offensive line as an issue. Is that the reason why the national media is punishing? Second worst team in the league, Peter. I mean, even if Tom Brady was in bed with your wife, Roger Goodell, I don't see how they could have pissed off someone enough to think that this is the 31st worst team in the league.
It's a lazy narrative because I continue to say that because it goes back to the Seattle Seahawks from last year. You lose Russell Wilson, and all of a sudden you're not going to be any good anymore, and it's just not true. And Carlton Davis put this out a couple of weeks ago where there's a chip on their shoulders, and it certainly seems like that's going to be a good thing. And, of course, it's going to come down to who's your starter. I definitely think it's going to be Baker Mayfield, but maybe it's Kyle Trask. But if the emphasis is on running the ball with Rashard White, which, by the way, he's not getting a lot of respect right now because projections for fantasy football value is 7th round, that offensive line, I think, will be improved with Tristan.
Peter, I got a prediction on that.
Well, hold on.
Sorry.
Okay, you got Rashard White, and if it's predicated on the run game, then you take the pressure off the quarterback. And, of course, if Baker Mayfield does start, do you want him to throw the ball 40 times a game? And I don't think that's not necessary. I don't think that's necessarily what you want. You want to be a balanced offense. And then furthermore, once again, you have Evans, you have Godwin, And Gage, if he can stay healthy, you still have that collective weapons there, weaponry, if you will, for either Mayfield or Trask.
That was a Leo word, weaponry. Wait, what were we talking about? Because I had it taken and I almost got you. Oh, Rashad White. Okay, let me tell you something. In my perfect world, in my ladies and gentlemen, the votes are in, and your offensive coordinator of the year for 2023, Mr. Dave Canales. My prediction is that you still have Rashad White, that dog, and that reception's out of the backfield, almost like a Warwick Dunn, only a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit faster, but he's also a dog running back. But Keyshawn Vaughn, coach, let Keyshawn Vaughn out of the barn house a little bit, because I'm telling you what, if you go with the Keyshawn Vaughn, Rashad White 1-2, Rashad can run that ball, and then we try to get Keyshawn to catch the ball. But as long as both of them know how to pick up blitzes and protect our quarterback, Kyle Trask, we trust, then 2023 with that Todd Bowles defense, lit.
Well, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to bet you Ferg's wings, because I'm going to down there that your starter is going to be Baker Mayfield.
Okay, whatever.
Well, it goes back to Levante David's comments on how Mayfield is great for the locker room. And then also, I don't know if we got a chance to talk about this, but Mayfield was on the Dan Lebertard show, and he was saying in so many words, me and Todd Bowles, we were talking during the draft process when he was with the Jets, and we wanted to get back then. So,
well, and then Peter, guys, girls, we've been playing going back a long ways. I like the kid Kyle Trask. I like his story. I also like the fact that he can be prepared to come off of anyone's bench and or possibly be a starter in this league. But I've had a good time. I can see that avenue to where Kyle Trask, Dave Canales is just like, look, he's just so goddamn robotic. He's just like literally Tom Brady's clone. He just boom, 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 boom. But at the end of the day, really, Baker Mayfield, I mean, this kid was winning a Heisman in Oklahoma, and then he goes to Cleveland for a Cleveland Steamer, and I felt like the whole world was robbed on that. And Kevin Stefanski, and then they go out to Deshaun Watson. Bad move there, although now, year 2 is probably going to be pretty rock solid. But the fact that Baker Mayfield is the guy, you want that swagger. You want someone who's going to say, and the fact that we got, and Peter, I did this off of your post this week. I said we got the good Baker saying the right things. Him and Tristan are, and he's not doing it because he's glibber, or he's not. I'm not trying to beat Tom Brady. He's doing it because he's a baller and he's a guy, but he's also doing it because this is the way you build these relationships. And I like what he's done. And I think that if Baker Mayfield took a series or a quarter off in the first game because he wanted to put some new socks on, Brad Johnson changing the uniform and everything at halftime, I think Kyle Trask could step in here and move this offense down the field.
Right, and of course, training camp is starting next week. Rookies reporting on Monday, and I believe veterans are going to be there on Wednesday. So a lot of Bucs fans excited right now.
I reached out to Brian Ford. I emailed. I was going to get with you, Peter. I was like, let's see if the Sports Web we can get credentialed because I'm off next week. And I went ahead and I went straight to the top. I emailed Brian Ford. I'm like, hey, Brian, this is us. This is me. My family's out of town. Let me over, please. I didn't even ask him. I didn't know what the media access would be for next week. So we'll see. Stay in touch. Keep it tuned here to the Sports Web. Maybe we get in over there, have a chance to rustle up with some of them dogs over there at the Advent Help $1 place.
All right, we'll see what happens. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Best of the Bay here, special edition of the Sports Web, getting you ready for Rays versus the Orioles, as Ray is doing his because you're actually going for the game here. Explain this. How did you get this ticket from Mark Ferguson? What's that all about?
First of all, I better get this ticket. We were finishing up the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection here with Mike Rickard and Ben Botham up there in the clubhouse, of course, where our virtual golf simulators are down here. They have leagues. You can come and call ahead and say, I want to play around. But most of the time you go on there, you can get lucky because it's only a few minutes when someone will get off it. Got tables right there where you can get a drink and an eat. Of course, all this is down here at the world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. Coach, please. No, so I said, so Coach is right there. I said, so Coach, I hear you're the guy to talk to about an extra ticket for the game tonight, knowing how hot it is. The Orioles in town, 2 first-place teams in the American League Beast. And, we know how. And he goes, yeah, I do have one, Ray. I'll get with you. And I'm like, oh, cha-ching. So, the flexibility there to go ahead and say my entire day just went from to okay. So it's good. It's nice.
All right. So how do you look at this matchup tonight or today here just coming up? We're coming up here in about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Flanagan going to the bump. I mean, can he duplicate that type of performance that Zach Eflin had last night versus this Orioles lineup, which, by the way, I believe that was the first time the Orioles were actually shut out.
Wow. 3 up, 3 down?
Yep. Yeah.
The easy answer would be say, yeah, it's Shane McClanahan. But no, it's Sugar Shane McClanahan. And the thing about it is like I said, I just wanted to tell you, in the stadium last night, there was no gloom and doom, or there was no woe is us. It just felt like the Rays are back in town. They're taking care of business. Zach goes in there and does what he does for 7 innings. And tonight, look for the Rays to get those bats working again. But, I'll work it back to, again, last Thursday night's game. I hope Randy's taking some bunting practice, because there's going to come a time later this season you're going to have first and second with one out, and a bunt will move the guy over and/or score, because you know what the coach of the other team is saying? A Rosarena can't bunt. Come on, the first thing we literally learned how to do when we put the stirrups on was learn how to bunt. I mean, I know it's not the easiest thing when the ball's going 100 miles an hour, but do your job. But yeah, brother, I appreciate you. How long do you say we've been going?
Well, we got it's been 35 minutes in. I tell you what, let's go out to Jake.
Yes. No more calls though, huh?
We'll try to get some calls in here. If you want to call up and talk about your Tampa Bay Rays or your Tampa Bay Buccaneers or anything that's on your mind, sports related, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. It's the Sports Web Live here on the Couple Ray. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, getting you ready for Rays versus the Orioles. So,
by the way, bro, thanks for the assist.
Absolutely, and quit dancing, because then I'll get you an assist out of here. Dancing until they.
I'll stop dancing the day that you'll sit and eat a plate full of at least 3 vegetables, and I'm picking one of them's collard greens, string beans. I'm not going to go other bean on you. And carrots. You sit and eat a plate of carrots, collard greens, and string beans, and I'll never dance again, Peter.
Okay, I'll give you this. You give me carrots, spinach, and green beans, and I will eat those. Yes, I will eat those.
No, I gotta dance, Pete. I got it. I'm a maniac. I gotta dance.
Christopher Cole says, I was trying to tag a friend. Christopher, appreciate you as always. Share away if you want to. But talking about the Rosarena, are you concerned about it? A lot of people mention the reason why he's swinging so often right now, because of the reason he's struggling, is because of that home run derby. What do you say?
No, because here's the thing. I think Kevin Cash had his finger on the pulse right here when he sits Franco and a Rosarena down the other night. Very first time he's done that all season. Randy goes to WBC. MVP, I'm sorry, Shoei, you're God, and striking out Mike Trout. Maybe he had a tear. Not really, because I'm not an Angels fan, but I'm a baseball fan. He was your MVP of the World Baseball Classic. Then he comes in here and starts knocking them from the very day one, right? Then we get to the halftime. He goes out there, carries the boots on stage, almost wins the yes, I almost said it, home run derby, and then plays good in the game. The thing about it is, I just want to make sure Randy's taking time to take care of Randy and slowing it down. And as long as we can get good pitching performances from McClanahan and the rest of the guys realize their place to step in and be fillers and be supportive and play and be dogs on a Saturday when you need it, when the second best team in the American League East is in town. Because after today, with this victory, the Orioles will be back in second place. I'm just guessing, but maybe.
Well, I think a lot of people feel good about the win last night, but do you think that this team can break out today? Do you think they can finally break out? Can they get back to Rays baseball, where they're scoring 5 to 6 runs a game, where they're stealing bases, where when they're getting on, they're able to get the runner over, and they're also able to get the runner in with runners in scoring position?
I mean, as an optimist, I have to say yes. And as a pessimist, I have to say I like the chances. I mean, it's not like we're waiting. It's not like we're back in 2008 with the hit machine and we're waiting for Jose Canseco to finally find his bat again post-roids. Oh, why did I drop that? I don't know. It's in my head. But the fact of the matter – sorry, Peter. We get cut. I'm sorry. But the fact of the matter is, again, with this just the feeling on the ground here, ear to the ground here, right here from down here at Tropicana Field in the world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill, it's not an over-gluttonous, we're still the best team in baseball. We won how many? 23 or 40, 80? No. Fact of the matter is, we got a great team. The Orioles, their fans are here. They got a great team. Tonight's going to be a great game, but, man, the Rays always hit better. They don't hit good in outside day games at National League parks, but, man, here at Tropicana Field, their bats usually do start working. I think tonight's the night.
And you got Grayson Rodriguez getting the start for the Orioles right now, coming in with an over 7 ERA.
Oh, what?
So maybe that's a sign of things to come for this Rays offense to really break out. And you would like to see Randy, and a lot of people say Wander. What do you see with Wander Franco? The frustration, is that going to go away? Is this guy going to start to break out here? Because you're going to need Randy. You're going to definitely need Wander. We've already talked about Brandon Lau, but Wander's definitely a major key to this team and this lineup, right?
Yeah, because that's your biggest concern, right? Wander Franco, one of the best, if not in the league, and you got him as shortstop, and you got the way the game he plays, and then having the issues, the 2-game sit, he comes back in the very first game back and home runs. I mean, because that's the thing when you're talking about a 2023 Rays locker room, and you're trying to find out who that leader is. You're like, okay, Kevin Kiermaier, he was, but we're trying to find that leader. And the fact of the matter is, this team, give this credit to Kevin Cash again, has a team of a bunch of young leaders that seem to find a way to work together. But again, when I pose a Bryce Harper's out there available or something, I'm not saying that this team absolutely needs a bat because the bats won't get working. But if you're talking about producing runs, talking about getting those victories and giving yourself, and Shohei Ohtani and those 27 draft picks isn't the odds, maybe it is a leader. You kidding me? The moment.
Hold on. You got a Baltimore fan in the background. Can you grab that Baltimore fan really quick that just was showing their jersey? Hey,
wait. That old guy?
No. The guy that had the jersey, the young guy. Tell him to come over here really
He's coming back this way.
Tell him to come here.
No, Tampa Bay Sports. He wants to talk to you. Yeah, come here. It's okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, I'll put him on here, Pete. Be nice to him.
All right, I'll be nice.
We're just Tampa Bay Sports, but we're all about hate, respect. He wants Peter Blake for sports.
All right, man. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. What's your name and how long you been a Baltimore fan for?
My name's Kale. I've been a Baltimore fan since I was born, really, so about 15 years.
All right. How long have so about 15 years? So who's your favorite Oriole of all time?
It used to be Chris Davis until he started sucking.
Okay.
Now it's probably going to be Gunnar Henderson or Austin Hayes.
Yeah, Henderson's definitely a young guy that it seems like your team is going to build around. So how confident are you with this series here? You guys got shut out last night. You won on Thursday night. If you win today, you get first place back. So how confident are you going into this game?
I feel like Grayson Rodriguez, he's going to have a nice bounce-back start. He's been having a rough go for the start of his career, but I feel like he's going to have with throwing 100+ in his last start, he's going to be pretty solid.
All right. You guys feel like you should make a trade at the deadline? Because I feel like the Rays should make a trade at the deadline, like a big-time trade for Shohei Ohtani. Do you feel like you have the team on the field, in your opinion, my friend, or do you think they should make a trade to put them over the top?
I feel like they could sacrifice off trade off some of their prospects for a pitcher like Shane Bieber or Dylan Cease.
Okay. All right. So you're okay with trading the future at the end of the day. See, there you go, Rays fans. That's a young fan. And what's your name again?
Kale.
Kale. All right, Kale. Thanks a lot for coming on the Sports Web. Go ahead and give that headset back. Good luck to you. I think it's a tough matchup with McClanahan on the bump. I don't know if you've seen him pitch before, but he's 11-1. He's pretty talented. So,
brother, thank you. Hey, go ahead. Right. Go have a good time at Ferg. Enjoy the game.
All right.
Come on, Peter. You're keeping. These guys want to eat. They walk. They smell the wings and the hamburgers. And he's such a good kid. What do you have a chance to talk to you about? He's a good kid.
We just talked a little bit, and he kind of said you give up the future to make a trade, and he feels like his team should do that.
Oh, Ohtani? You managed to get some Ohtani talk with a Baltimore fan?
Of course.
You're a turncoat.
Oh, no, I'm just talking trade. I didn't say necessarily Shohei Ohtani. I said a big-time trade. And speaking of that, if that's not Shohei Ohtani, what about a Marcus Stroman from the Cubs?
Yeah.
Bay Rays in that rotation. Does that help them out, in your opinion?
I mean, that's the hot talk, right? That Stroman seems to be the one that people are like, most of the arrows are pointing towards. I still say, Brandon Lau. How long now we've been saying that he's got to come out of it, right? And, of course, Luke Raley. And it's like, we know. But there's a few guys that need to go back to making the contact, go back to doing the little things right. If there's a big bat available at the very end or something like that, but I think that we're probably thinking, especially with the with Rasmussen and of course Jeffrey Springs going down earlier in the season, that probably pitchers where we want to go with this team as far as getting us ready for that postseason if they're going to be buyers at the last minute, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, I think I answered the wrong question. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's all right.
You blame me.
Dylan,
No, sir.
fan out there. Bieber's out there. What do you got? You got a fan out there who wants to talk?
No.
Sure.
Wait, you want to go to the bathroom? Okay. Walk right through here, straight back. Big bathrooms in the back. You'll see a trailer.
So you're directing people. You're not even trying to host a show out there at Ferg's.
He asked. He had to go to the bathroom, and he was extremely drunk. I wasn't going to try to, hey, hold on. I'll hold it for you if you can wait 30 seconds.
Oh my God!
Hey, that's what you get. Hey, if I'm getting a ticket from Coach for today's game, I'll walk him to the. Oh, Coach Mark Ferguson's giving me a game to today's Orioles-Rays game. Here, let me walk you to the bathroom.
Okay, well, can we get Mark Ferguson on here for a little bit?
Mark Peter, you know Mark as well as I do. He's either cooking or sitting or at bartending. You can't keep Mark Ferguson in any one place. I'll try for next time, no, bro.
All right, sounds good. All right, so how did the St. Pete Tampa Bay Sports Connection go today with Mike? Because we've been talking a little bit, and we've been kind of talking about putting together some type of race seventh inning stretch, and of course post-game show to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. So how did that show go today, bud?
Oh God, solid as always. I hear, honest to God, I'm not gonna know the kid's name, and if I Googled it right now, I'd probably butcher it. I get down here again last night, Friday night, Rays won 3-0 over the Orioles. Way too many Budweiser. Get down here. I walk up there. Peter, you know me. I'm head of steam. Like, what up, everybody? I walk in, and they were on a commercial break. I could see Mike had his cups off, and of course they had him away from there. And I walk in, and I go, "What's up, everybody?" And Mike Rickard goes, "Oh, I want you to meet so and so. He's the 2023 spelling bee champion. The kid from right up here in North Florida, or Tarpon Springs." And I'm like, "Oh, I did not see that coming." And so later, Mike's like, because I can come on a little strong sometimes, but the kid was good. His dad was awesome. Big sports fans, but that's what you get with the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection, from the Pee-wees to the preps to the pros. Keep looking where other people aren't, because at the end of the day, there's great stories there. It's just our job to find them and bring them to you.
I love them. All right, what else do you see with this Rays team? Of course, coming off the win last night, but a rough week. You go to Texas. They're no slouch. You come back home to Baltimore. Losers of 5 in a row, so it's exactly what the doctor ordered last night. But what else do you see with this team needing to improve on? Because we kind of hit on it. The offense, they need to definitely get in gear, especially when it comes to runners in scoring position. Yeah. But their bullpen, do you make a move there? Is that still, in your opinion? Because I feel like they've done a good job. Fairbanks did a great job last night. That was great.
That was a get-right moment right there for Pete, getting him back on the bump and the way he came through. It was only a 3-0 lead. It didn't feel like it wasn't enough. Actually, we were up 1-0 for some reason in that stadium last night when the Rays. I think it was because you assumed there was going to be more. So, it's 1-0 now. But even 1-0 with Zach Eflin pitching the way he did, and Pete Fairbanks closing it down with a little bit of relief in the middle. That 1-0 stood, 3-0 stood and won it. And I think that's what you're seeing with this Rays team. I think that. Look, they're not going to go on a 10-game spread. Okay, they're not going to all of a sudden win. It's literally the dog days of summer, and these are the boys of summer. But I think that I don't see a lack of confidence in this team. I don't see. You know what? I'd love to see Wander Franco tonight on a perfect play do another ball flip and over to first base. But it's after he's had 2 home runs on the game, because that's your Tampa Bay 2023 Rays. That's the team I still see, and that's the team I think we're going to see tonight.
And I still, right now, Isaiah Paredes, it's been unbelievable. He had a solo shot last night.
Yes.
Siri. A lot of people criticized him. He was watching it. He was fortunate to get it out there, but career high 20 home runs leading this team right now. Talk about those two guys, Paredes and Siri.
I'm sorry, Pete, you broke up a little bit. You said Siri and who else?
And Paredes.
Oh, they've been your it's weird to say it, but you're hidden MVPs. I got into a debate today. I forget who it was. Actually, it was with my guys last night. No, who was it? Maybe it was with you. It's been a long, bartender, another beer, please. But we were kind of talking about, today on the radio, since Siri got the extensions, and still think he's balling with it. But, of course, that's been a narrative and a question. I said, because I didn't remember him having them last night, but then, I didn't remember seeing him much last night. It's a long story, but they're like, no, there's the guy, the rep from the Rays that was on there. He's like, it's true, though. He's like, no, Paredes still has the extensions. That's good, because as the Rays, the best story of the Rays in 2023 has been the kick-ass, the best part, the record-setting, historical Rays. The next closest second story for your Rays best story is that these individuals have character, and Kevin lets them bring it out. Why not, guys? You paid a king's ransom to play a children's game, but have some fun with it because it makes it more fun for us.
Yeah, and it looks like you're having fun down there. I mean, what's the crowd like? What was the crowd like last night? Over 20,000.
Yeah, Orioles.
The Orioles, and of course, Rays attendance this year is up 54%. So, what's it like down there in downtown St. Pete?
I don't think it would feel like this if we were in downtown Ybor City. I was just kidding. Zing! I had to do it.
Wow.
I had to do it. Hey, zing! But, lots of Orioles fans, they're traveling to see their team, just like we're seeing the Rays fans showing up all over the place in these away games. But, yeah, the Orioles, every team that's come in here this year, you know what? Here's what happened. Every team in baseball that had a chance to be good, and the Orioles made the wild card last year, and they're an improving team a year ahead of schedule, but they all went, Tampa Bay, summer swim season, forget Shark Week, come down for a couple of games. Their fans weren't taking enough advantage of it, so let's do that. But guess what? In 2023 now, the Rays fans are taking advantage of it. We own the walk. Here's the thing. You might have a lot of Orioles fans sitting in the seats, but when they walk around that outfield alley and, the Rays fans are standing there and we're all with paddles, we're waiting for them to come. No, I'm kidding. But, they're all like, okay, we're in their house because you know what? That is the unique part of Tropicana Field for us, and that is our house. So the vibe is good because it's always peaceful here, Pete. You know Tampa Bay.
Are you drinking plenty of water down there? Because I know
third cup.
It's about 92 degrees with humidity.
Yes.
I feel like my kitchen on Saturday night, everything basically burns. Air fryers save lives. That's the reason why I got an air fryer in the first place.
You and me too, bro, brother.
And it certainly seems like everything is burning down there. So how hot is it, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Pete. No, it's not. The thing is, my right leg here from being in the sun, I positioned myself strategically out here. Had a young Warriors from Pinellas Park girls softball team out here raising funds so they can continue to fund youth athletics. Support youth athletics, everybody. I know it's tough, but if you see a car wash, even if you don't need that car wash, but maybe you probably do, or you see them taking a little bit of money, they take Venmo, a couple of dollars cash. Just remember, I almost lost it there, but.
Look at that. You got people walking by. You need to grab those people. What's that lady say? Is that lady want to get on camera? Because she was.
Oh, that's my post show. No, but we all need these athletics for these kids to get this experience, even if they're out here today hustling, just trying to get a couple of bucks to continue supporting that program. So support youth athletics. But it's hot, but it's July and we're in Tampa Bay, so it's not like anything we didn't sign up for.
Well, you're exactly right. And, of course, he's live there at Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blick, along with Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. So who are the guys today you think does Randy get off the snide here, if you will? Does he hit a home run? That's your pick. That's my pick. He's struggling right now. I think he breaks out, especially with the pitcher there that we talked about, over 7 ERA. I like Randy Arozarena. Who do you like in this game?
How about Kevin Cash pitching Wander Franco in a 2-hole last night? Was that okay, I'll be honest. I do not work in the Rays organization front office, but I did not sleep in a Holiday Inn last night. But I'm like, whoa, Franco's at number 2, just shaking things up. You know what, Peter? I'm going to stay with my Brandon Lau with a side dish of Randy Land. But the main course is going to be Sugar Shane McClanahan, the former Bull, soon to be free agent someday, and probably not in Tampa Bay. Although, because I would pose that if you're talking about spending $1 billion for Ohtani, don't forget Sugar Shane McClanahan. You can get him under contract next year and keep a homegrown USF Bull. But what he's meant to this team, so I'm just throwing it in there as a post facto at the end. Maybe it stirs someone's koodles a little bit.
Well, I tell you right now, I think that's definitely what their emphasis is going to be. Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy is to get that deal done with the Shane McClanahan, not only because he's a local kid, but also he's only scratched the surface at this point. He's only going to get better with time, and it's going to be important. It's definitely going to be important for this franchise to get that deal done eventually. So, how many strikeouts do you think McClanahan has today? I'll go with 8. Over
8.
What do you say?
God, this Baltimore Orioles team can make contact. Sugar Shane outing. I'm going to go 10, so you get the free pizza from Papa John's. Is that like what it is if it's 10 strikeouts?
No.
No, I know. I just score 6 runs.
6 runs, and
Okay.
stole my thunder. I think this will not be. I think the Rays do score 6 runs or more today. How about
And I think Shane McClanahan has 10. If the over under was 9, I'll bet the 10 over on that. 10 strikeouts for Shane McClanahan tonight.
10 strikeouts for Shane McClanahan and over 6 runs. 6 runs or more.
I love it because let me tell you the reason why, Peter. They're going to need to get those 6 runs because the only way – I'm not saying McClanahan can get 10 strikeouts on his own. The guy throws spit. But this Rays team swinging the bats, get the runs production going early. Now you put the Orioles on task, and they're starting to squeeze a little harder, and it only allows the Sugar Shane McClanahan breaking ball and a curveball to make those guys either sit on pitches or swing too early. So I think I would go over – if I'm betting, I'm going over 6 runs. I'm going 10 strikeouts for McClanahan, and that's the game you get from down here at Tropicana Field on a Saturday night. Oh, someone behind a cloud.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Saturday afternoon, they're live at Ferg's. I'm your host, Peter Blake. He's Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy.
Hey, Peter, can I talk about the elephant in the room for a minute? Since we usually have a post.
Yes.
Why the heck? I know you saw it. Why did our numbers on this show? Okay, stay full screen or stay split screen. I mean, Peter, where are you?
I'm right here, man.
Why did those numbers jump the way they did? I mean, you'd have thought I captured a shootout back. I mean, because we were watching our numbers like we always do because we're trying to keep it real. But all of a sudden, the views went astronomical. I'm like, that's when you broke in. I'm like, well, don't tell me Brady's back for 24.
No. I got a little secret that I use. So we'll just keep that between me and you. I'll tell you off air. So.
Brother, but thank you because it got the questions going. We got some great comments. Any more comments before we get out of here?
I'm good. I'm good at this point. I think we're good with comments. So you go ahead and end it off here and end off the show, my friend.
Thank you, Peter, for coming in here. I appreciate you, brother. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely.
So let me get a sip of water.
All right, get your sip of water. I'm just, again, if you don't know, Monday and Wednesday nights, the Sports Web will be on talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, getting you ready for Tampa Bay Buccaneer training camp. Of course, your Tampa Bay Rays. Monday, Wednesday, 9 o'clock on I Love St. Pete, the Hub, and Amped Up Sports. How do we end off the Sports Web, as we always do? Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Go ahead, Tampa Bay Ray.
And I'm the nonsense part of that factor, and that's the reason why we go together like carrots and peas. Everyone needs to know someone cares. You guys know I always tell you, make sure you're the one that reaches out and tells them this weekend. Had a good time down here. It was crazy. Just had the perfect spot set up. But, thanks for commenting on the show. But I just please ask you to share. And also, if you haven't had a chance already, please go over to my YouTube channel and go ahead. Tampa Bay Rays 76-83. Again, y'all know 1976, the reason for those two. But 83, I'm going to get into another time.
Tampa Bay Ray, I want to read this comment really quick here. Hold on.
Do it. I'm just riffing here.
My son will be at the Rays game tomorrow, Sunday, with his mentor from the Big Brother program.
Oh, yes. Yes. Let me tell you something. Obviously, with the mentorships and Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And I went to bring my mom some Taco Bell. My mom's been an ACLF, everybody, and thank you for all the warm, feelings and thoughts. She's doing well. I went into a Taco Bell that's 100% made to be a drive-through Taco Bell because I wanted to know. My mom wanted steak, but I wanted to make sure it was exactly something, and she gobbled it down. It was worth the time. I walked in, and they had a young little guy or one little young person working that counter, and they were so eager to interact with me. They were so eager to show me what was I ordering. I don't mean over the top. We were the only people in there because, like I said, it's a heavy drive-through. And I'm looking down, and I'm like, interact with our youth. Set an example. Show them, we've all been on this crazy spinning blue orb of an earth, which is the most awesome ride we'll ever be on. But remember, teach it forward, share it forward. Big Brothers and Big Sisters program. And I want to do a shout out to the National Football League. All the commercials you're running about adoptions and Adoption Kids US and everything, there's so many things in this world we can get our heads wrapped around that we don't need to. These are things that we need to get our heads wrapped around, and I love it because my heartstrings are wrapped around them too. So thank you for that comment right there, Gail Spillman. Man, that's made my show. You know what, Peter? Everyone needs to know someone cares today. Since Gail's comment was so awesome, I'm going to end the show on that one. Make sure this weekend you're going to be the one. You're going to be the one. I couldn't do it. Have a great time tonight, everybody. Enjoy the Rays game. Look for a Cup of Ray tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peter. Talking sports.
Bye.